Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. It looks like there's a review that's happening. Reflecting on something, looking into it. It seems like you are in the midst of a process. I'm seeing progress that you're making, but yeah, it seems like you are very much in the center of something that's been happening, making your way through. It also looks like a lot of things are changing around you as well because of this. Seeing something about somebody's footwear. It looks like the more you're moving, the more you're getting tapped in as well. Even something changing related to the way that you are analyzing things perceptively. There is a moment where a choice is going to appear to you, and maybe it was one that you hadn't seen before. This can even be a situation where before you hadn't been seeing options that now you are able to see, which now gives you choice that you had not had before. But because of the ways that things are changing related to how you're seeing things, more things are becoming available to you, which gives you more freedom and more choice overall, whereas before you hadn't been seeing that. I'm looking at Scorpio and the moon next to each other. It looks like you could be getting involved with somebody, or somebody wants to invite you in to something that they're doing. I'm looking at the Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. I'm hearing, where are you going to go with this? What it looks like more than anything is that although like in a bigger sense, like if you really zoomed out, you would see a lot of change that's happening. While you're in the midst of this, you may feel a lot of slowed down energy. There's a sense of things like feeling kind of like they're stagnating a bit. I'm getting that with the Knight of Pentacles over here. Like something is taking a while to happen, or it's like quite slowed down. And then there's the Nine of Wands next to it, which is kind of like another pausing type of energy. It's even related to like something that you're working out, or somebody that you're working with, or like a situation that you're working through currently. It seems like for some reason the only way to do it is slowly. But you're going to get to where you want to go with this, I'm seeing, because we end with the Ten of Pentacles here. So it's worth it to do that. So maybe like going more slowly, doing things in an analytical way, really paying attention to what you're doing, being mindful, taking your time, putting in the work, putting in the consistency, thinking about what you're doing, that it's going to add up to what you want it to add up to. It seems even like the challenge is to take your time with something here rather than speed through it. Because this is what ends up building towards what you want. This is how you reach your goal. And I'm seeing that you're going to reach exactly what you're shooting for. It's just a matter of taking your time with this. This is a moment for precision rather than blind aiming. I'm seeing somebody trying on different clothes here, but it even seems like it's related to like situations that you've been putting yourself in. Like maybe seeing which ones fit right for you, which ones you feel comfortable within, which ones make sense for you to be a part of. It looks like you are also kind of migrating into a place where you're becoming part of something that like maybe even feels bigger than you alone. Like there's a sense of community. Even if this is something that you are developing on your own right now, it seems like other pieces are eventually going to be added into this, maybe even other people. Because it even seems like you're finding something here that you're connecting with more deeply than you had been experiencing before. And you may even feel called out of a situation and to move into a different one. Even a situation where you may be like, okay, when I'm getting in touch with myself and I'm really listening to what's going on internally, I'm realizing that this may no longer be like part of my journey anymore, and I'm going to transition into a different space that I feel is more in alignment with what I'm meant to be doing. So like maybe something doesn't even make sense for you anymore, and you're recognizing this. And this can be like different areas of your life. It doesn't just have to be one, but it's a moment of you recognizing that there are some things that you don't feel connected with in the way that you had in the past, and that may mean that it's time to move forward and connect with other things. So there's a new sense of discovery that's being met by the movements that you're making. For some of you too, this can be a situation that you were in, that you were trying to make something work, and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna stick this out and like see where things go, and then you get to a point where you're like, I'm finished with this, I'm gonna keep moving on, it doesn't feel right to sit in this situation anymore, and I have to keep moving forward for yourself more than anything. I'm getting a reference to, it's a TV show. It has tigers, the Tiger King. I think that's a show. I I know nothing's random, it's coming through for a reason, but I'm getting a reference to that here. Yeah, so what I'm seeing is that there could have been something that was going on before that you had been sticking around within. And then when you have a moment of connecting with yourself and like really feeling what's going on emotionally for you, like what are you feeling in your heart, it looks like you are kind of separating yourself from a situation that you had been in. And the situation that you'd been in, there was absolutely a purpose to it. And now there's also a purpose in you exiting from that, whatever that is, or like even causing some sort of separation that hadn't been there before. This can be like a person, a situation that you were in, an environment, but it's something that you recognize as right now being a period of transition for you to move forward, which would also mean moving away from whatever this is. It's something that you don't feel as connected with anymore. And there's a sense of wanting to find that connection, and that's also the motivation for moving away from this as well. I'm seeing a highlight of Taurus here, Taurus, Scorpio, and the moon. I'm seeing too that if you had been sitting in a spot not walking away from something else would not have fallen into place. I'm almost seeing a set of dominoes here where because one thing occurs and you make a particular move and you had to make this choice on your own, it then allows something else to fall into place. But if you had not made this choice to walk out of a situation or to move on from it or like make some sort of change that was necessary, the other things would not have followed. But I'm seeing there be like this progress that you're making through a situation where you recognize that like it's time to move forward, it's time to continue, rather than sitting in a space and feeling like you're stagnating. So I'm seeing that move, that jump that you make, and then I'm seeing something change. It even feels like something very big with the Death card and the Knight of Pentacles, and it seems like something, and also the Hierophant, that may have taken time to happen and get to this place. So to have both like a big change and also like a slow moving energy as well, it seems like this is something that's going to take some time, but it may like really change the way that even you see your life. Like something significant within your life is going to change. And it seems like there may be like a bit of a process in order for this to like fully transition into what it's meant to come out to be. So yeah, it's a moment where it's like a much more gradual change, but it is a very big change that's happening within your life. It also seems like there's a bit of a challenge here when it comes to like you connecting with your higher self and your intuition, the High Priestess, and feeling that united with the emotional experience that you're having. You may feel at times like there's a little bit of a block. This can be related even to connections that you're feeling, but sometimes when there's a bit of a lack of boundaries when it comes to our emotional experience, we can have a hard time telling the difference between intuitively and empathically what we're feeling versus a sense of codependency, a sense of caretaking, and things where we are lacking boundaries because we're not showing up for ourselves. Rather, we're kind of like martyring ourselves for other people. So that may be something at times that gets a bit tricky. I'm seeing it be like to have both the Queen of Cups here and also the High Priestess. It's like part of the emotional and intuitive experience that you have, and it's about like finding the right frequency for it in order to connect and synthesize the energy because I'm seeing it's like when you turn to the right station, the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups become connected. However, if you don't turn onto the right station, you have them like separated. And I see this be like parts of your psyche, parts of your psychic experience, your intuitive experience, your astral experience. But again, something about tuning it to the right channel, and then they're able to communicate with one another, so the energy is synthesized and it can work together. And it's also going to lead you to making a choice that needs to be made. And also seeing options that you had not been seeing before related to a choice that you're going to be making. I'm seeing it be related to the Ten of Pentacles. This can be related to home, finances, goals, long-term, short-term. Even help. For some of you, it has to do something with like income taxes. Things related to your 3D reality. For some of you, this is even, this isn't just one thing. This is like many things within your life that you're working towards. Because I'm seeing a bunch of decisions that are being made that, like, after time has passed, because you are going like down this particular path, when you look back, you're gonna be like, my life has changed so much since like X amount of time ago. Like, I'm seeing it be something overall that's going to impact your life in many different ways, based off of, again, the decisions that you're making. It looks too like you may be facing something that needs to be resolved related to your past. Something that at the moment it may be unresolved, feeling unresolved. Seeing even some sort of issue related to an experience from your past, a person from your past. This can also be about recognizing something and needing to accept it. Maybe it's something hard to like come to terms with too. But it seems like a moment where you may be admitting to yourself that something didn't work out in the way that you thought it would, or that you did feel affected by something, you did feel sad about it or disappointed. Like, you are impacted by things. So it feels very much like admitting to something that maybe you hadn't wanted to admit to feeling. What this looks like to me is a moment where you can continue rearranging the furniture in the room and be there forever, because there's so many different combinations of how you can rearrange the furniture. Or you can decide that you're ready to explore the rest of the house rather than sitting in that one room, working with the same things over and over again and just rearranging it. And I'm seeing this be related to emotions, experiences connected with like an event or a person. And I'm seeing you get to a point where you're like, I don't want to feel cloudy and restricted because this thing is never going to be resolved in the way that I want it to. And I just see that I'm just rearranging things over and over and over again. And I want to leave everything where it is, and I want to continue moving forward. And I'm seeing like something that you may just have to leave it messy and leave it like that. I'm seeing you just walk away because you don't want to do it anymore. Because you're recognizing that you're not pursuing the rest of your life. Because if you want to keep finding combinations and again rearranging the furniture, you're going to be there forever. But it's going to be a choice if you're going to exit it. And you may be leaving it in a way where like maybe you didn't get closure, maybe things weren't neatly tied up in the way that you wanted it to be. But if we accept it and we release it, it's almost like you feeling like something should have a different outcome, or you should have gotten something different from it, rather than accepting it and be like, this is how it was meant to be, and I'm meant to keep moving forward. I'm seeing sheets on a bed. They look really shiny, like maybe silky sheets, or a pillowcase. Yeah, I'm seeing you get to a point of making a necessary judgment call here. What I'm getting is that something could have been really tripping you up, and it's something that like would have continued like siphoning your energy into that until you chose to channel your energy elsewhere. And it looks like you're making a decision to actually do that and focus on a different opportunity, a new opportunity. But until you made that choice, you would have been stuck there dealing with whatever that was that you had been dealing with. I'm also hearing dodging. It seems even like somebody's coming through to, for some of you, I'm hearing offer you a position. It looks like somebody's coming through to offer you something, and you have to like figure out what you want to do with this. Like where you want to even take it. For some of you too, there was something where like you had to fight on behalf of yourself, or like advocate for yourself when it comes to like your values, or even like compensation or something related to that. What you even feel like you're worth. Because you were feeling at odds about something. At odds with something. Conflicted about something. Something was not sitting well with you. And so you had to make a decision. It's taking that, understanding that you feel conflicted about something, or like something's not sitting well with you, and being like, okay, that means that I need to take action here. Like this is a note for me to take to make a decision, and I'm seeing you go forward with something that needed to be done here in order to resolve whatever this was that was going on. Because it was a situation where, like, you know your worth, and maybe you weren't feeling like that was how you were being met, or how you were being seen, or how somebody was interacting with you. And so, like, something needed to be done about that, and I'm seeing that happening here. Which also means, too, a sense of acceptance that, like, maybe how you wanted somebody to treat you, that was not how they were treating you. Or how you wanted to be compensated by a job, that was not how you were being compensated. Or you put in this amount of work and you expected to get that back, and that was not what you got back. So it was about like making the changes necessary and admitting to the outcome of the situation, rather than sitting in something that's not working and just continuously staying within that and getting the same outcome every time. And I'm seeing you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm ready to admit what it is. It didn't meet my expectations. It didn't go how I thought it was going to go, and that's okay, because I'm going to find what I'm looking for, but I have to release this in order to reach for a new opportunity that's opening up for me. So it's like, there is now a new door that you can walk through, but until you close this one, you can't walk through that next one. So I'm seeing there be a release here. And this means also like processing through everything that happened to get to a point of acceptance. Because if you're still feeling a type of way about a situation, you're still channeling some of your energy into that. So it's about coming to terms with things. And adjusting to what's happening right now. For some of you, you're taking a break from something. I'm seeing you take like some sort of pause or a break. There's definitely a moment of stillness here that takes place. It might even be like between transitioning that this happens. I'm seeing something going on with somebody's back. It looks even like something with like the muscles within their back, or something related to the spine. Yeah, so this looks like a big adjustment that's taking place right now as you transition from one thing to the other, and as you're also like letting go of things as well in order to move into that new space. So it can be you like physically moving from one thing to another thing, but it looks like overall, more than anything, this is about like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like migrating your energy by releasing something else that's meant to be released. And I'm seeing you like taking your time with something. I'm seeing you like walk through a new door. I'm seeing you take your time with it. I'm seeing a lot of adjusting. I'm seeing you like even recalibrating. And then it looks like you're getting involved with something here that like on an emotional level you feel much happier with, and definitely much more of a sense of like feeling fulfilled about this. So I'm seeing like overall there's absolutely a beneficial effect because of this choice that you're making and what you're getting involved with now. I'm looking at Pluto and Sagittarius. Alright, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.